Hey, I'm Ree, welcome to the channel. If you are returning, welcome back, it's great to have you. And if you are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy practicing with me and Drake, although he's pretty out cold today, he's tired. So welcome, this is the Yoga Basics second class. So Yoga Basics, as I said in the first class, is really just about getting you familiar with yoga when you're a total beginner. So this should give you the tools that you need to feel confident to take on some beginner classes or mixed ability classes. So come to your mat. You're not going to need any props for this. The reason being is I've assumed that you are completely brand new to yoga and you may not yet have decided to take the leap into buy-in blocks and straps and whatever else. So we will work with just ourselves and our mat today. So come to sit on the shins. You can again tuck the toes under, making sure that all 10 toes are underneath you. You're sitting on the heels. Take the hands down to the thighs, close down the eyes, relax the shoulder blades. Start to take some nice deep inhales through the nose, followed by long matching exhales through the nose. As always, don't worry about it if you can't breathe through the nose today for whatever reason, just breathe. Start to send the shoulders away from the ears. Start to really reach the crown of the head up tall without hiking the chin. We're just settling in here to the intention that you've created by, rolling the mat out and giving this a go. Maybe this isn't the first time you're doing this class. Maybe you've done it before and you're returning. But whatever your reasons for being on the mat, just have a moment to be grateful that your body is able to take these movements. Slowing down the breath, ignoring whatever has happened before you got to this place on the mat, whether you just woke up or whether you've had a long day. Just leave all that where it is for the next few minutes or so while you enjoy this yoga practice. Blink the eyes open. We'll start the class standing today. So come up to the top of your mat. So in the last Yoga Basics, we covered Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. We're going to work through that again today, but we're going to cover Sun Salutation B as well, and a few other postures. So big toes are touching, 1 inch gap roughly between the heels. You will see in lots of yoga classes the instruction to stand with feet underneath the hips. That's fine, but for this we're going to take Samastiti. So tuck the tailbone under, lift the pubic bone, drop the hands down along by the side, drop the shoulder blades, drop them back and down. Really stand nice and tall through the crown. We want a nice long spine here. Notice if you are kind of tucking too far under and you've got this pelvic tilt with the hips protruding forward, or notice if you've taken an inadvertent back bend. So start to become aware of this tilt here and try and come to neutral. Rotate the inner thighs in towards each other. That'll lift the kneecaps. Release the butt if you're gripping it. Let it go. Let the hands come either side of you. You can turn the palms to face the top and come into Tanasana if that feels good. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. We'll begin our first Sun Salutation. So inhale, in through the nose, reach the arms up to the diagonal, lift the drishti, the gaze, fingertips touch. As you exhale, bring the palms in towards the center line, tilt forward, forward fold. Fingertips either side of the toes, bend the knees, Uttanasana. Really tilt that tailbone up towards the sky. We want chest on thighs. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the chest halfway, Urdhva Uttanasana, fingertips on shins or thighs. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. Right foot goes back, left foot goes back. Don't worry if that didn't work out like that for you. You just find your way into plank as gracefully as you can. Hold your plank nice and firm here, push back so the weight is pushing into the heels. The gaze is forward, tuck the tailbone under, grip the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, untuck the toes. Suck the belly in and up, suck the tailbone under, lean the chest forward. Then continue to exhale, pin the arms into the body, elbows draw back. We lower chest and chest and hips meet the mat together. Really zip those elbows in. Inhale, come into your version of upward facing dog. Lift the gaze. Exhale, come back to the mat, tuck the toes, soft bend in the knees, push back, bum to heels, and then find your first downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So first down dog, pop a bend in the knees, it's likely that you'll need it. Really think about tilting the pelvis to send the tailbone up, the sit bones up towards the sky. Ski slope back. Be broad through the shoulders, so don't let the shoulders bunch up towards the ears. Try and send the shoulder blades down the back. Spread the fingers, look forward. Make sure that you should know from the first class whether you need to turn so that you've got the first finger forward. If you can keep the arms nice and straight, it's the middle finger forward. Turn the heels out slightly, release the lower back. There's a lot of instruction there, there'll be less as we go through. We just want to make sure we've got some nice clean downward dogs to get us started. This is a very foundational pose that's often miscorrectly done in yoga. Head hang heavy. Drishti between the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. See if you can take one foot and then the other in between the hands. Big toes touch. Continue the inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the shins or thighs. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, fingertips push into the mat to tilt the sit bones to the sky, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, the fingertips touch, try not to take that back bend. Exhale to Samastiti. Nice, let's take two more. Inhale, the arms will come up, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze lifts. Exhale, palms through the center line, Uttanasana, bend the knees, fingertips either side of the big toes. Inhale, lift the chest halfway, lift the gaze. Exhale, plant the palms. Right foot goes back, left foot goes back. Find your high plank for a moment. Then drop the knees and tuck the toes. Tuck the tailbone under, chest comes through, Chaturanga. So bend the elbows, draw back, everything meets the mat together. Zip the elbows in. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, drop the shoulders down the back, upward facing dog. Exhale, come back to the mat, tuck the toes under, push back into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Keep a bend in the knees, if that allows you to have a nice long back. And by that I mean not this. So if to have the legs straight, you now have shoulders up around the ears. You come forward, so you're almost in this weird half down dog, half plank. And you've got rounding through the lower back. Then bend the knees, send the sit bones up to the sky. Drop the chest, drop the head, find your downward dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step up to the top of the mat. See if you can do it in one or two steps. Inhale, lift the chest halfway, fingertips touch the shins. Exhale, bend the knees, fingertips down, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Watch the plant if you've got one. Exhale, Samastiti. Cool, take a breath. Then inhale, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, lift the drishti, the yogi gaze. Exhale, the palms come down the center line, tilt forward, Uttanasana, bend the knees, drop the head. Inhale, Urdhva Uttanasana, halfway lift. Weight across the whole foot here, not kind of sinking into the heels. Exhale, palms plant. Right foot goes back, left foot goes back. Find high plank, be strong. The gaze is forward, pressing back into the heels. Keep exhaling as you drop the knees and tuck the toes. Send the chest forward. The hips and the chest meet the mat together. Chaturanga. Pin the elbows in. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, come back to the mat, tuck the toes. Push back into down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Nice. Bend those knees if you need to, making sure you've got nice straight arms, straight elbows, sending the shoulders away from the ears and down the back. Nice. Feet hip distance. We often see big toes touching here. We don't want that. We want to create a little bit of space for the sacrum, the lower back. So just take the feet hip distance. From here, bend the knees, look forward. Maybe this time you spring and bounce to the top of the mat. Don't worry if that's not happening yet. Then inhale, straighten the legs, lift the chest, fingertips on shins. Exhale, pop a bend in the knees, fold forward, Uttanasana, tailbone lift, up, up, up. And then inhale, come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, fingertips touched, send the shoulders down the back. And exhale, Samastiti. Nice, good job. So we went through that a bit fast, but that's the kind of pace that we'll want to be going at from now on. Next, we'll come into Surya Namaskar A B, Sun Salutation A B. So this is new. So as you inhale, deep bend of the knees, drop the butt down. The fingertips now meet the mat. Then sweep the fingertips along the mat. As you sweep them and start to lift the chest, that forces the tailbone to tuck right under. Keep sweeping the fingertips up, keep tucking the tailbone. Fingertips are touching at the diagonal if possible. If that hurts the shoulders, open the arms up. This is not what we're looking for here. This is creating an arch in the lower back. So we want to tuck the tailbone under. Sit the weight back into the heels. Look down, make sure you can see the toes. So the knees shouldn't be too far over the toes. We should be nicely able to see the toes. There should be a little gap in between the knees. So take the palms, make sure that's the amount of space you've got. I know it's a lot to think about, we'll keep going through it. This is Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. This should be familiar now. Bend the knees, head goes low. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back, fingertips to shins. Exhale, plant the palms. Maybe you want to take a bend of the knees and jump back to plank. Whichever way you get there, find plank, push back into the heels, tuck the tailbone under. As you exhale, drop the knees and tuck the toes, chest comes forward, bend the elbows back, chest and hips meet the mat together. Inhale, pin those elbows in, lift up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Send those shoulders down the back, the drishti is lifted. Exhale, come back down, tuck the toes under, push back to down dog. We're not going to stay here. So looking forward, bring that right foot, replace it where the right thumb was. Now, to take that movement, the foot may only come to here. That's cool. If it does, you take hold of the back of the foot and you help it to come all the way up. So it needs to go where the right thumb is. Then look back at this left foot. Drop the back heel down 45, not 90. So that's 90. I'm now in line with the short side of the mat. I want to be 45. I also want to make sure that the back foot is over on the left side of the mat. So if it's the left foot back, it's over on the left. If I've got the right foot back, it's over on the right. You'll see why in a minute. Deep bend of the front knee. As you inhale, see if you can swing the arms up, lift the chest, and sink low. So here, if I had my left foot all the way over, so I had a really narrow plank and a really narrow chaturanga. Now I'm on a tightrope. It's very difficult to hold this. So it's really important, as I mentioned, that before you come up for the first few times when you're learning this posture, you make sure that the back foot is over to the correct side of the mat. So if it's the left foot, it's the left side, right foot, it's the right side. Deep bend of that front knee, we're aiming for 90 degrees. Now, we're aiming to draw the hips forward. So we're bringing this left hip around, we're sending the right hip back. So we're really sucking the top of the femur bone into the hip so that we create neutral hips. May not happen. You may be here for now, that's fine. Keep working on it. You may not be able to drop the back heel down. If you can't, you'll come into high lunge, which is where you lift the back heel off. Reach the arms up. So lift the pubic bone, tuck the tailbone under, Virabhadrasana A, Warrior A. Exhale, the hands frame the front foot, spin up onto the toes of the left foot. Then right foot goes to the back. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, lean the chest through. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, really lift up the chest, press the back of the feet into the mat for up dog. Exhale, come back to the mat, tuck the toes, find your way back into down dog. We'll take the left side. So look forward. The left foot replaces the left thumb. The back heel drops 45. So again, this right foot has got to be on the right side of the mat so that the feet are roughly hip distance. Inhale, deep bend of the knee, raise that chest up. Fingertips touch, look up. So try not to just check out in the lower back and the belly. So really lift the pubic bone. Deep bend of the front knee. Press the foot, the weight into the whole of the back foot if you've got the heel grounded. Exhale, hands come down, left foot to the back. Find your plank. Lower the knees and tuck the toes. Pin the elbows into the body as you lower. Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Lift the gaze, send the shoulders down the back. Exhale, find the mat, tuck the toes, push back and up into down dog. We're going to stay here for several breaths, so you can regather your breath if you've lost it a little bit, because we've taken quite a few new movements. So nice clean dogs here. So making sure you're spreading the fingers, the heels are slightly turning out, the sit bones are really reaching up to the sky by tilting the pelvis. The head's hanging heavy, we're gazing through the feet, through the legs. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Then bend the knees, look forward. If you want to try again, you come high onto the toes, bend the knees and spring the feet forward. Don't worry if that's not happening yet. Inhale, lift the chest halfway, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, Uttanasana. Drop the head. Inhale, now this time drop the butt down low. Tuck the tailbone under, sweep the hands up, come back into that chair pose. So think about what we said at the beginning. We're tucking the tailbone right under, so we don't have this. Tuck the tailbone. Sink as low as you can. Shine the chest up, fingertips touch or hands shoulder distance. Utkatasana, weight is in the heels. Exhale, hands by your side, come to Samastiti. So that is one round of Surya Namaskar A B. So we'll take another one so that we get the hang of it. So standing in Samastiti, inhale, deep bend of the knees, sweep the fingertips along the mat, tuck the tailbone under, come into chair pose. The weight is in the heels, you should be able to see the toes when you look down. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Urdhva Uttanasana, weight across the whole foot. Exhale, plant the palms, step, walk or jump back to plank, your choice. Strong in the plank, drop the knees, untuck the toes, pin the elbows in as you exhale, Chaturanga. Everything meets the mat together. Pin the elbows in. Inhale to modified upward facing dog, shoulder blades down the back here. Exhale, find the mat, tuck the toes, push back into downward dog. Look forward. Right foot is replacing the right thumb, drop the back heel down 45. Deep bend of the front knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up with the drishti. So again, right hip's going back, left hip's coming forward. We're tucking the tailbone under, we're not sticking our booty out. Drop the shoulders down the back. This is Virabhadrasana A, Warrior A. Exhale, hands come down, Spin up onto the toes of the back foot. Right foot to the back. Find plank. Lower the knees down, untuck the toes. Bring the tailbone under, send the chest through. Continue the exhale, Chaturanga. Elbows pin in towards the body. Pin them in still. Inhale, lift to up dog. Send the shoulder blades down. Exhale, find the mat. Tuck the toes under. Find your down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Look forward. Left foot is going to come, replace the left thumb. Drop the back heel 45. Deep bend in that left knee. Inhale, sweep up. Find Virabhadrasana A on this side. So this time the right hip is coming forward. The left hip is trying to come back. So we have this neutrality in the hips. Press the weight across the whole of the right foot. I know it's hard. Then reach the arms up. Virabhadrasana A. Deep bend of the front knee. Exhaling, the hands come down. The left foot goes back to plank. Find high plank. Lower the knees. Untuck the toes. Tuck the tailbone. Send the chest through. Look forward. Exhale, Chaturanga. So bend the elbows back. The arms brush the body. Inhale. Lift up to your up dog. Lift the gaze. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale. Find the mat. Tuck the toes under. Push back. Find your Ardha Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. Again, you might have lost the breath a bit, and we moved quite quickly through that one compared to what we have been doing. So that's fine. If you have, just try now to regather it, breathing deeply through the nose and exhaling deeply through the nose. Now, as you look forward, your choice, walk or float or hop to the top of the mat. So bend the knees, maybe you spring up and the feet come in between the hands. Lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fold over, bend the knees, fingertips press into the mat. Inhale, drop the butt low, sweep the arms up, tuck the tailbone under, shine the chest upwards. Make sure you've got that little gap in between the knees are not touching. The weight is in the heels, fingertips are touching. Utkatasana. Exhale, come to Samastiti. Great, great job, Yogi. Okay, from here, take your hands onto your hips and take a big step out to the long side of the mat. Turn the heels so that they are slightly pointing out and that the toes slightly point in. Now take this left heel, spin it in so that the left foot is parallel to the long side of the mat. Now turn the right heel out a bit so that foot is more at a 45 degree. Now look at where your hips are. They maybe are tracking kind of on a diagonal to the left. Try to bring the hips back as much as you can towards the long side of the mat, towards me. From here, take the hands out to the side into a T position. Lower the shoulder blades down the back, but really reach through the arms. Look down, the feet should roughly be as wide as the T. From here, bend that left knee, sink low into it. You might need to shuffle it a little bit forward if the stance wasn't wide enough. So we're finding Virabhadrasana B, or Warrior 2 as you may hear it called. So looking down at this left knee, we want the knee tracking above the ankle. We also want to be able to see the big toe at least. If the knee is starting to pull in, that could just be a little bit of weakness in the glutes. So really try and rotate that left knee out to the left so that you can see that left big toe. Now try and rotate this right thigh open a bit to allow the hips to open. They're not going to go all the way to the side unless you have incredibly open hips, but we're working towards it. Really press into the whole of that right foot, press into the whole of the left foot. So we sometimes see crunching with the feet. Try not to crunch the feet, try and spread the weight nicely. So lifting the pubic bone, tucking the tailbone under. Then we take the arms up as high as the shoulders. Reach the fingertips away from you as if you're trying to reach something into the future, maybe something into the past. And then lower the shoulder blades down. Draw the navel in and up, so suck the belly in. The gaze is just over the middle finger. Keep making sure that you can see that left big toe. Keep sinking low. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Nice. From here, straighten the left leg. We'll come into Trikonasana or triangle. So from here, lean forward by tilting through the hips. So actually place your right hand onto your hip here. So we're tilting so that this hip is staying square, but it's just tilting over to the left. That's going to allow the left fingers to draw further forward. Then, when we can't tilt anymore, we drop the left hand. It might come to the thigh, it might come to the shin. Don't worry about going for the floor. Have the palm facing forward. Then reach that right arm up to the ceiling. Make sure you've got weight into both feet here. Make sure you are not rounding in by rolling forward to get your hand lower. Because here we're just crunching forward. We want to open up through that top shoulder, leaning back slightly, imagining there's a wall behind you, and then send the shoulder blade down the back. So none of this, send it down. You can hold on to the leg for support if you need to, but over time, try and just have the hand gently resting. This is triangle pose or Trikonasana. You can look up to the top hand if the neck is okay. Then from here, come all the way back up. Spin those left toes in. Spin the right foot out. You might need to readjust. So looking down at the feet, we want the arch of the foot to line up, arch of the back foot to line up with the front heel, or the toes of the back foot with the front heel. I like to go with toes because that gives me more room in the hips, which I need. So from here, try and square the hips forward. Take the arms into a T. Make sure you've got the back foot 45. Then deep bend of that right knee. So again, we need to be able to see the right big toe. If you can't see the right big toe, that's probably because that right knee is falling in. So keep sending it out. Keep squaring off the hips. We're really rotating the inner thighs, spinning this back thigh out. Take the arms up into a T. Drop the shoulders down the back. Tuck the tailbone under by lifting the pubic bone. Be nice and strong in the warrior. Fingertips are reaching away. Deep bend of that front knee. Weight across the whole of both feet. Virabhadrasana B. Warrior 2. From here, straighten the right leg. Let's take Trikonasana, triangle pose on this side. So pop that left finger into the left hip. Then lean forward till you can't go anymore. That might not be very far. Then drop this right hand down. From here, spin the collarbone open, so we're looking up to the sky. Release the top hand up. Lean back slightly. Tuck the tailbone under. This is your Trikonasana. Dropping the shoulder blade down the back. Smiling if you can. This is not an easy posture. Then inhale, look down at the front foot. Come all the way back up. Nice. Now turn both heels outward. So both toes are coming inward. We're going to take one little forward fold. Take the hands onto the hips. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the gaze. As you exhale, fold over, tilting forward. Take the hands down to the mat. They're coming underneath the shoulders. You may need to pop a bend in the knees to do that. From here, start to press into the hands, bending the elbows. Take the body further over. through the legs. Straightening the legs if you can. Really sending the shoulders away from the ears, making sure that the elbows are over the wrists. So you may need to walk the hands back a little bit. This is Tanasana A. Nice. From here, straighten the arms, lift the chest, look forward. Nice. See if you can come all the way back up, hands on hips. Now turn that right foot to face the front and bring the left foot to meet the right. I've kind of shuffled over to my left side of the mat to come back into the center. Nice. From here, we'll take Yogi Squat to try and find our way to the floor. So take the feet just a bit wider than the hips, maybe hip mat distance. Have the heels turning in, the toes turning out. Take the hands into Anjali Mudra, so palms together at the center of the chest. Lower the shoulder blades down. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend the knees, send the knees out. So send those knees out and away from you and lower the butt. Now, as you get lower, the heels might lift. That's fine, but just try and keep the heels grounded. This is Malasana, Yogi Squat. We're using the inner tops of the forearms to send the knees outwards. Then from here, we're just going to drop down onto our butt. So nothing too pretty. And then bring the butt back a bit so that you've got enough space on your mat. Take the legs out in front of you. So we'll take some postures that we did in Yoga Basics 1. So legs out in front, feet together, flex the toes. Really sit nice and tall out of the back. So grounding into the sit bones, sitting nice and long. Fingertips come either side of the hips, and then lower your gaze. So you're just gazing over the big toes, the drishti over the big toes. Really flex the toes back towards the shins. Bend the knees if it's causing you to round. We don't want any rounding in the lower back. Drop the shoulder blades down. Dandasana. So as I said, take that bend in the knees. If you're rounding in the back, we don't want that. Drake's having a spin. Nice. From here, reach the arms up, stretch up just like Drake is. And then as you exhale, see if you can take the hands forward. Yogi toe lock, first two fingers around the big toe. Press the thumbs in. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, bend the elbows, send the chest over the thighs. Bottom rib is on the thighs. If it's not, bend the knees so that it is. Lift the gaze up over the big toes. And keep breathing here, keep inhaling deeply through the nose, matching the length of the inhale with the exhale through the nose. See if on the exhales you can pull more on that big toe to really work through biceps, triceps, and take the chest further along the legs. Paschimottanasana. Take an inhale, release the arms, straighten them. Exhale, release. Nice. From here, bend the left knee, plant the left foot on next to the right knee, and then take it up and over. So we've got the left foot over across next to the right knee. From here, wrap the right arm around the left knee and really pull the knee in towards the chest. Sit nice and tall as always. Then inhale, reach the left arm up, and as you exhale, turn the torso to face the left side and take the left fingertips behind you. Then see if you can look back over the left shoulder. Don't forget the right foot. So right foot is flexed so that we're engaging the muscles in the right leg. And just see how far you can twist. If you want to go a little bit deeper with this posture, you can reach the right arm up, really spin the chest towards the left, bend the right elbow, hook it on the outside of the left knee, and use the push of the leg into the arm into the leg to really twist you deeper. This is a variation of Asana, but this is a lovely seated twist. Great for the spine. As you inhale, see if you can just sit a bit taller. And as you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. How far can you look over that left shoulder? Inhaling, slowly start to look forward, releasing the arms. And exhale, release the leg. Nice. Bring that right foot in next to the left knee, and then take it on the outside of the left knee. Really flexing the left toes. Really wrapping the left arm around the right leg. Inhale, sit nice and tall. Reach the arm up. As you exhale, turn to the right, drop the right fingertips behind you. Keep flexing that left foot. See if you can look over that right shoulder. Drop the shoulder blade down the back, so no hiking up of the shoulder to the ear. Sit nice and tall out of the sit bones. If you want more, inhale, reach the left arm up, bend the left elbow, take it over the right knee. Use that push of the back of the arm and the elbow into the leg to send you deeper into the twist. Always trying to reach up on your inhales further and try and twist a bit deeper on your exhales. So this is a lovely twist from the upper back here, the thoracic spine. Oh dear, Drakey had a big sigh there. See if you can look any further over that right shoulder. Keep flexing the left toes, don't forget about it. Nice. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale slowly and wind it all. And exhale to release. So that was your variation of Asana. Nice. From here, bend both knees flat so the feet go flat to the mat. Scoot the butt forward so you've got space. Take the arms alongside you. Slowly roll down to the mat. We'll take a few hip stretches here just to finish. So bring the feet a bit closer in towards the butt, and then bring the knees into the chest and cross the right leg over the left, and then just start to pull the knees in towards the chest. If you can, start to lift the balls of the feet, the soles of the feet up to the sky, taking the hands on the outside of the foot. See if you can draw the feet apart and towards you. This is going to be a nice hip stretch. Feel it on the outer of both hips. See if you can pull them in a little bit closer. Make sure to flex the feet to protect the ankle. This is a variation of Utkatasana legs, which we'll do in a different class. This is quite a deep hip stretch, so don't worry if you're just squeezing the knees in. That's cool. This is just optional. Nice. Then releasing the legs, switching the cross. So now left leg crosses over right. You can squeeze it in, and then you can take hold of the opposite foot with opposite hand and see if you can gently start to bring the feet down towards the floor. Flexing both feet to protect the ankle. Should feel a nice stretch here in those outer hips. Try not to hike the chin up, try and keep the spine nice and long by tucking the chin slightly. Drop the shoulder blades down into the mat. Be here for one more breath. Breathe through anything that doesn't feel great. Then exhale, nice. Squeeze it in, release the legs. Cool. Now take your arms out either into a T or into a cactus shape if you've not got a lot of room. From here, let both knees just fall nice and gently over to the right. Try and keep this left shoulder blade grounded to the floor. You can take the right hand onto the top of the left knee, and then you can gaze to the left hand. Again, this is just a lovely supine twist. The key here is to aim to ground both shoulders into the mat. That's more important than how far over the knees are going. We want a nice twist here in the upper back. Inhale, bring both knees back into the chest. Exhale, drop them both over towards the left, keeping both shoulder blades connected to the earth. Looking over to the right hand. You can have the left hand on top of the right knee if that just encourages the knees to drop further. But just keep grounding those shoulders into the earth, into the mat. Feel supported. Notice any areas that you might feel a little bit tight. That's fine. Send some breath there. Usually does the trick. Then inhale, bring both knees into the chest. Nice. Take the feet flat to the mat. We'll come into bridge pose. So make sure you can tickle the heels with the hands. Feet are hips distance. Palms and arms are alongside the body. As you inhale, try and flatten off the spine. So we've got this lovely lumbar curve at the lower back. Just try and, as you inhale, press the spine into the mat. Then as you exhale, lift the hips up. The shoulders, the backs of the shoulders press into the mat. The feet are pressing into the mat. And you've got bridge pose. So the hips are really shining up towards the ceiling. If you want to, and you've got it, you can then clasp the hands underneath you and start to wriggle the shoulder blades towards each other. So we've got shoulder retraction. Press the little fingers into the mat. That'll send the hips higher. The weight is across the whole foot. Press the knees forward, lift the hips up. Try and relax the glutes if you're squeezing the butt. This is a modified Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose. Let's have one more inhale here. And as we exhale, release the hands if they're under you and slowly allow upper back, mid back, lower back to drop. Cool. From here, wriggle yourself so you've got enough space. Take the right foot to the right corner of the mat, left foot to the left corner. Really sink the shoulder blades and the skull into the earth. Take the palms alongside the body, turning them up to the sky. Let the ankles turn out. Close the eyes. Tuck the chin slightly. Find corpse pose, Shavasana. Let the breath do whatever it wants here, so let that autopilot in the body kick in. We're no longer guiding it. Although it might be nice to just observe it, give your brain something to focus on rather than letting it wander off. Feel heavy into the earth. Feel supported. Feel like you're just letting everything sink in, but it's fine. Gravity's doing the work by grounding you down into the earth. Let all that energy that you've just created just settle now into your entire being. Corpse poses. Shavasana can be a very difficult pose in yoga because we're asked to be still in the mind and body and just focus on the breath, and that can be really hard. So don't worry if the mind wandered off there. Just be observant of that. Take a moment of gratitude for this vessel that is your body, a wonderful servant, the body that allows you to do everything that you need to in life. Bringing a little bit of soft movement back now, a little bit of an awakening in back into the body. So sweep the fingertips over each thumb, maybe turn the ankles in and out, curling the toes and stretching them. Bringing the feet together, bringing the arms up and over the head. Take a full body stretch. Should feel great. Inhaling. And as you exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest. Take the arms around the shins. Really press the back into the mat. Hug it all in. You can take some rocks here from side to side if that feels nice. Try and keep the eyes closed. Try and have these last few moments of mindfulness. Then roll all the way over onto the right. Come into a little fetal position. And then slowly find your way, any way, into a seated position. And this can be any seated position. It doesn't need to be legs crossed, it can be anything. Bringing the hands together in the center of the chest, back into Anjali Mudra, pressing the thumbs into the chest bone. Lower the shoulders down the back. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it all go. Blinking the eyes back open, lifting the gaze, readjusting. Thank you for joining me for this Yoga Basics class. I hope you found it useful and that you come back for more classes on the channel. I'll see you soon. Namaste.